So yeah, basically last week I was at the gym and I approached a girl and basically the interaction was good. She was really into the conversation. She was talking a lot. We exchanged Instagrams basically. I followed her, she followed me. And then after I arrived home, I started like checking her Instagram and I've noticed that she had a picture with a kind of like with cats. Then sliding through the pictures, I noticed that she had a picture with a guy, but it was like more like kind of like a picture if like he was her boyfriend. And then I just started looking at like they maybe are dating or something. But I feel that it was her boyfriend, but they kind of broke up like recently. Because I recently
Okay, I
saw
know
it
what
like
you're asking. You
two
want to
weeks
know
ago.
what you could do to find out if she actually has a boyfriend.
Yeah,
Right.
basically.
So here's the funny thing. Even single girls will have post in a certain way that makes it so ambiguous, even if there's even if she's so fucking single. And I have seen this recently because if you one woman in particular I remember was telling me this, and her activity, it's kind of funny because you can see a group of women. Some of them have boyfriends, some of them don't, and some of them are like seeing a guy who's in the same room as me. And all of them are posting the same way. They post like a picture of them at some fancy restaurant or something, but they don't show other people at the table or any other clues. It's just them posing with like some fancy part of the restaurant. Everything else is ambiguous. And then you look at their history, maybe, and maybe you can find another restaurant, but she went with a female friend. So then you're like, okay, so the one where she went with a female friend, she shows the female friend, but this restaurant, you don't see anyone else. She didn't go there alone. So that's like one little clue. However, sometimes those can be more of a social setting, and she wasn't there on like a date in particular or anything. She's just avoiding judgment no matter what she's doing. So essentially, whatever the situation is, unless she's going with a group of female friends or one female friend or her mom or grandmother, she's not going to post anyone, regardless.
Mhm.
Only female friends if there's nobody else there. At the same time, the easiest way to find out someone's romantic situation is we think of this as men in such a black and white way, but we need to fucking destroy that immediately instead of saying, so do you have a boyfriend or are you single? I'm not interested in, well, we're interested in knowing these kinds of answers, but let's think in terms of getting the same kind of answer, but using a different question. So the best question I have for this, which I came up with um 2, 3 years ago, how's your love life? I have asked this
Mm.
question. I started asking this question to coworkers. I wasn't asking them, do you have a boyfriend or are you single? I'm already in a relationship, so I don't really, that's not the information I was looking for. But I was like, whatever ways can I navigate around this in a professional context and in generally any context? How's your love life? I was asking this to coworkers, to clients, and no matter who you ask, maybe don't ask your grandmother, but it's a perfect fucking question because then
Yeah.
you can find out, oh, maybe she gives you an answer that indicates that she's lonely, which is like she's super single. Or she could just say simply she's single. It's complicated. She had an argument with her boyfriend last night or something like that. This is the information that is way more useful to know than her yes or no, because she could say yes and mean no, and she could say no and mean yes. So we're not seeking the truth or the black and white version. We're seeking the context. So we should be asking her, how's your love life? And then we're getting Somewhat, I'm not interested in emotion in particular, but it does extract a bit of an emotional context behind it because, again, you can get the context of if she has something complicated going on. She could even open up about the fact that she's seeing someone or she started kind of dating someone, but they're taking it slow. These are the
Mhm.
many versions of the answers you can get. So that is the one thing I recommend.
You're right. Like, can I ask him like, how's your love life? Okay, like it.
How's your love life? Nothing, there's no other version of like wording that I ever use. It's just the same thing every time.
Yeah,
I have
and also
asked this
like,
to my female
In this
bosses in work
situation,
environments too.
okay,
Go ahead.
in this situation, I'd just ask her out on a date, and if she agrees to come with you, then probably she is single,
mm,
or
yeah,
she's
because
looking to mess around.
yeah, because I was like thinking, well, actually this weekend I'm free, so I'm going to invite her to do something. But basically because of her work, because she told me like she was talking a lot, so she like told me like this weekend probably she's gonna be like quite busy because of her work. So I'm going to check that out with her. But yeah, I'm probably gonna do that.
Yeah, that's another good way of going about this. Because the looking at the reality of the situation is she either shows up or she doesn't, and regardless of what her status is, she's either interested or she's not. Of course, there's a case where she could be interested, but she doesn't pursue your invitation. But the fact that she does come to you under whatever kind of, whether it's a dating frame or friend frame, she's there with you. So the label doesn't really matter.